So I've got about 8 hours worth of gameplay in the Destiny 2 beta on PS4 at this point. And while that certainly isn't a record number of hours by any means, there are a lot of people who put that many hours in just on the first day. It's a pretty good number of hours for me, and it gives me kind of a good sense of how the game really plays at this point and whether or not I like it, and how I've continued to say that I'm still kind of 50-50 on whether or not I want to buy it. I want to talk about these things, the things that I'm seeing in the game that make me kind of iffy, kind of questionable, the things that I kind of want to see changed, and the things that really could push me one way or another in actually buying it or not. But before I do that, before I get into that, I do want to preface this by saying I am not the hardcore Destiny fan that Bungie was really trying to attract with this beta. I am very much a 50-50 fence sitter at this point. I don't yet know if I want to buy this game. So the feedback that I have is going to be pushing Bungie a little bit towards making some more dramatic decisions instead of leaving this game on the fence, instead of leaving me sitting here wondering should I buy it or not. I really want Bungie to push me off the fence one way or another, to give me that extra oomph, that extra little bit of something. I don't even know what at this point that's going to tell me whether or not I like this game long term. So that's kind of the perspective that I have, just to give you an idea of where I am. So if you're looking at this video from the perspective of somebody who absolutely loves Bungie and you just want to see this game be super awesome and everything that you ever wanted Destiny to be, well, this isn't the video for you, because I'm not that super fan of Destiny or of Bungie in general. I think they're a good company, they do good games, but I'm still 50-50 on this. That being said, let's get into this, starting with the strike that is in the beta. And I have to admit that running this strike for the first time brought up a lot of bad memories of the first Destiny, at least the first couple of months of the first Destiny, which is really all I played because I wasn't allowed to play beyond that due to the team size requirements. This strike was entertaining. It was enjoyable. I had a good time running it, but I say it brought up a lot of bad memories because my experience in Destiny 1 was pretty much just, oh, hey, there's a strike. Let's go play it 20 times in order to grind through and get every possible little bit of loot and extra whatever that we can out of this thing for the next week while it's currently, the active strike that we have available for us. I don't like that repetitive grind. I don't mind the grind. I played the crap out of The Division as an example of a game where you just constantly grind stuff. And I did constant grinding in the Dark Zone and in various missions in order to get specific loot. The things that I didn't like about the grind in Destiny was really the RNG, the random noise generation of the loot system and the way that the game worked overall in terms of progressing through it. I would play for hours on end hoping that I would get that one thing that I needed. And while my teammates and friends and randos that I was playing with were constantly getting exactly what I needed, I would never get it. And that drove me nuts. No matter how many hours I played, I just would never get the things that I needed. And this kind of brought up a lot of bad memories when I was playing through this strike in terms of how that worked. Specifically with ammo drops at this point. The way ammo drops work in this strike just kind of turned me off because I'm not a great shot. I don't get headshots all the time. I'm not a perfect player. I'm very casual with Destiny, so I don't have that high level of skill that will get me through the level without ever having to worry about running out of ammo. I'm a casual player. I'm not looking for that level of perfection. I'm looking for a game that will challenge me, yes, but also allow me to actually get through it and make me feel like I've accomplished something. And right now, the random ammo drops in the strike, they really do hinder me greatly. If I was looking at Destiny on a scale of 1 to 5 in terms of difficulty, where 3 is your normal mode, Right now, the ammo drops feel like they're on the setting of 4. It's a little more difficult than I was really hoping for at this point in time. I think the overall skill required in this strike right now is on point. I'm actually quite happy with how well it played. Yeah, I died a number of times, but I expected that because this was my first time running through the strike. The other thing that really disappointed me about having the strike in here was just the fact that I'm not really seeing any of the evidence that Bungie promised with the Destiny 2, the way the guided games work, where you'll be able to join up with a clan and play through the strikes and the raids and all that kind of stuff. I really, really, really need evidence of how that's going to work because I don't typically have a ton of people to play with. So if Bungie is going to tell me about all these great things that they're doing to make that work for the solo players like me, well, the beta really should have had something in there to demonstrate that, to really push me off the fence and give me the information I need on whether or not that's actually going to work for me. And it's just not there, unfortunately. Now, that doesn't mean that all of this is bad, that this is an entirely bad game. I've played a ton of the PvP, for example, what is replacing the Crucible, essentially. And frankly, I'm enjoying the PvP aspect of this right now. I think there's a lot of really good stuff going on in here. I do have a few things that I would like to see adjusted. One major complaint about the control scheme, at least the default control scheme, and some stuff that I think could be improved in the overall experience. First off, I guess I'll talk about my major complaint in the control scheme, and that is on PlayStation 4, the O button, the circle button, or on Xbox, I guess that would be the B button. There are 4 major actions tied directly to this one button, and that is beyond ridiculous because it is so incredibly easy to accidentally use one action when you meant to use another one. There are 4. Count them, 4. There's crouch when you're walking or standing still. There's slide when you're running. There's the dodge thing that you have as like a hunter or a warlock or a titan, which I guess is a shoulder charge or something. And then with the warlock, at least, there's that dome shield that you can put up to regenerate health or give people extra damage output. All right. And each one of these actions that you can do with this one button is done with a very minimal difference in how you actually activate it. You press circle once in order to crouch. Unless you're running, then you run and then press circle to slide. Unless you accidentally hold it down for a split second too long, then you're accidentally going to put out your dome shield as a warlock because you hold down circle in order to do that. Unless you accidentally double tap it while you're in the air or with the hunter while you're running on the ground to do your dodge. Well, okay, this just isn't working. This is incredibly complicated. There are far too many actions tied to this one button in the control scheme right now. And I don't think that's a good thing at all. Now, that's probably my one major complaint about the control scheme. Otherwise, I think the default control layout is pretty darn good overall. But enough about control scheme. Let's talk about actual gameplay in the PvP area. And I'm not really going to focus on the countdown mode because, frankly, I'm terrible at that. And my suggestions for that would probably be a little wonky because I'm not really a super competitive expert player in that arena. But on the control side of things, there are some changes that I would like to see, specifically with grenades and with supers and with power ammo. Overall, I feel like these 3 aspects of the game are far too suppressed in Destiny. Now, that's not to say I want to see a ton of supers and a ton of grenades. I certainly do not want to see frag spam everywhere, grenade spam everywhere, like we saw in Battlefield 1 in the early days. That was just a nightmarish, ridiculous mess. But I would like to have a little more than just one grenade every couple of minutes. I find myself often needing to have a grenade in order to flush people out of a given area, in order to block people off of a given pass, and I just don't have it. Now, the positive side of not having a grenade very often is that it really does force me to use it more tactically to do things like I just mentioned. But the downside of not having it enough is I get really frustrated with, oh, I need a grenade. Oh, crap, I don't have it. Wait, let me look at that real quick. Where's my recharge meter? Oh, man, I'm only like 10% of the way back up through my grenade refill, my grenade respawn, whatever it's called, the meter to charge up my grenade. And that's incredibly frustrating, especially when I know that it's been a minute or more since I actually threw that grenade, and it just doesn't seem like I'm actually going to get it back at all throughout the match. I'll end up getting, 2 or 3 grenades through a 5-minute match. That just doesn't seem like enough to me. On the power ammo side of things, I think the current cooldown rate for power ammo is actually really solid. I think it's like a minute and a half between uh, power ammo cooldowns, which feels fine to me, honestly. I don't want to see a ton of people running around with power ammo all the time. However, the amount of ammo that is given when the power ammo is available, that's what I want to see changed. I would like to see a little more power ammo. I typically run with the grenade launcher, and it gives me 4 shots out of the grenade launcher. I would like to see 5 shots out of the grenade launcher. I don't know about the sniper rifle or the charge rifle or whatever it is, the other power weapons that are available. I don't really play with those much. I really like the grenade launcher. But I think having one more piece of ammo would do a lot to really improve a player's ability to work with the power ammo. Because right now it feels like, okay, I waited, I slayed people, I got over there, I worked to get this power ammo, and now I hardly have any ammo to deal any real damage. I have to be absolutely perfect with my shots in order to get any kills with it, and I'm not really enjoying the power ammo as much as I think I could if there was, just that one extra shot out of it, one extra grenade out of the grenade launcher. And that would probably translate into a little extra ammo for the sniper rifle and the other power weapons as well, which I think would be okay because overall I don't feel like I'm constantly dying to power ammo weapons, even though I know I get melted by them very quickly when they are out. So the cooldown is good, just give it a little bit more power ammo when it does spawn into the game. Lastly, the supers. I really think there needs to be more supers in the game. I know that may sound a little weird, but in a 5-6 minute round of control, having my super once doesn't really seem like enough. It seems like, maybe if I get lucky, if I actually do super awesome this round, I might get my super and I might be able to get a kill or two out of it. I think the supers would be much better suited to having it twice in the game, essentially, once at around the midpoint and once toward the end, so that we can really have some comebacks here. If we're looking at a situation where a team is down, by 15 or 20 points at around the midpoint, maybe getting my super would allow me to get those 4 or 5 kills and move my points up closer toward the other team. And then at the end, if we're neck and neck, having a couple of supers out there would really give us the ability to take the lead or to grow the lead and really push toward the end of the game at that last second. I think there could be a lot of good gameplay in terms of the suspense and not knowing whether or not you're actually going to win or lose if we had a few extra supers in there. So that's about it for my feedback at this point, though. Overall, I am really enjoying the multiplayer aspect, the PvP aspect of the Destiny 2 beta right now. I am disappointed that there's only one map for each mode. They're going to be releasing a little bit more over the weekend here, but not a whole lot. And frankly, I don't know if I'm going to be able to have a lot of time to play the extra stuff that they're releasing anyways. But that's about it for me right now. That's about it for my feedback. I would like to see Bungie push something out into the Destiny 2 beta that would really help me know whether or not this is going to be the game for me long term. I am very concerned about the grind that I may need to be doing in this. I'm not opposed to the grind, but a grind combined with the social aspect, the need to have team players, well, it better give me a very good way to get in with a lot of players that can, frankly, carry me through this sometimes. Otherwise, I'm probably just going to end up not buying it, or if I do buy it, I may end up dropping it. And I don't want to end up doing that. I don't want to get 2 months into this and have to put it aside like I did with Destiny 1. That's about it for now. Thanks for watching this episode. I hope you've enjoyed the gameplay in the background here, and I hope you're enjoying the Destiny 2 beta as well. Let me know what your thoughts are on things that you'd like to see changed. Thanks for watching, and happy gaming.
Enemy charge set. Defuse it now.
What? I fell off the frickin' map. Come on. Oh my lord, that is the worst. I would have been able to actually get that. I would have been able to get that.